joining us once again. It's been quite a while since Jess and I have sat down and had a chat. We're going to reinstigate sort of weekly or bi-weekly chats or whatever it is. Woo! Things have just got a bit crazy. Things got a bit out of hand. Life got in the way. Jess was doing things. I was doing things. And it just kind of fell off the radar. Anyway, it's back. Jess, I've missed you. Have you missed me?
No, because I still see you for treatment each week, but I've missed our chats, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's really good that we get back out there. It has been super hectic for both of us, and prioritising, spreading the word about what we do, our amazing vast knowledge that we both have, and helping the world with their problems and solving them. I think it's really important that we do this as a weekly or, as you said, thing. Again on the reg, so I'm going to make some space in my very busy diary just for you and me and everyone's comments down below.
Yes, of course. If you don't participate properly, if you don't comment underneath this video, we won't bother making too many more, frankly, because Jess and I have both got other things to do that earn money, and it's a hard road earning money on the YouTubes. So if you don't appreciate us, there you go. Studies show that the single biggest cause of metabolic dysfunction is not supporting our YouTube channel efforts appropriately. And as such, you need to fix it up. Also, if you don't, I'm going to send Ted around and he will bring the wetsuit with the bottom cut out and his bucket of soapy frogs. And there'll be issues then, I'm sure. Anyway, yes. Anyway, I'll leave those images in your mind, and we'll move on to the topic for the day, which for me has come about because it's long past overdue, frankly. Post the 90-day 100% carnivore challenge, both Jess and I had fantastic results in terms of body composition, which was the idea, among other things. I also got control of my cravings, I got food freedom, I got a basically addictive situation under control with the alcohol and all that kind of stuff, which was great. Yeah. But obviously now I feel like I'm in a space where I need to be much more physically fit, much more ready to face the world head on when it turns to custard and we all need to actually become militant and whatever, just joking. And what brings it about for me is that I started training up for playing cricket this summer. And a few nights ago, I was standing in the cricket nets, standing absolutely still, having bowled a little bit for maybe half an hour before I went in to have a bat, put some pads on, went in to have a bat, was standing at the non-striker's end, minding my own business, not doing anything really, and then bam! My soleus just went. And I'm not sure how bad it is. It's still pretty sore. It's not a full rupture or anything like that, but there is clear bruising. Clearly there is an injury to that muscle, which just spontaneously occurred because I have so much weakness and lack of use problems, really. Yeah. And as such, I need to get fit, and Jess has some issues that she wants to resolve as well. So we thought, why not do it by way of having a physical challenge to challenge ourselves primarily and each other also, and also to give you guys something to participate in, i.e. telling us what the physical challenge ought to be in terms of getting ourselves into some sort of shape. So that's my goals, getting ready for doing sport, a power-based sport, a strength sort of based sport, more power than strength actually, skill-based. Jess has her own goals. What are your goals, Jess? What do you want to achieve out of this?
Well, as you mentioned, in the 90-day carnivore challenge, I had massive results in body composition, but also even the skin texture changes that I had, mainly around the mummy tummy area post 3 births, as well as, some wrinkles and stuff that you get. And I had really great results with that. Since completing the 90-day challenge, I have continued on with carnivore, and I have had probably the odd thing here and there, so something on my birthday, something at another event, but the rest of the time in between those few bits, I've still been 100%. Nothing's changed. The only thing I'd say that's dramatically different when I did the challenge was I did quite a bit of fasting during that 90-day challenge, and I no longer do any fasting. For two reasons. One, my body composition is pretty much where I want it to be. And two, it was affecting my sleep, as we've talked about in other videos together. And so for me, it wasn't worth the payoff to not sleep of doing those longer fasts. So that's kind of what's changed. Now, because I've been really consistently carnivore, I've still had body composition changes. So I've still had body fat loss. But what hasn't happened is I haven't had the same skin regeneration or tightening, whatever you want to call it, as I did with that 90 days. And so now I've been left with more saggy skin around my stomach than when I was carrying a little bit more body fat and it was kind of pushing it out and it didn't look the same, which is kind of annoying, but I understand why it is the way that it is. And I'm sure people that have gone through similar things, when you lose weight, sadly, that skin elasticity is not what it was when we were children, and it doesn't just suck back in, especially through, lots of different scar tissues and stuff going on with that as well. So I would love that to be improved. Other than that, I can always pre-summer lose a little bit of body fat, so that's fine if that's another perk, but it wouldn't say it's a target. The main other focus for me is to be athletic. So like Bart mentioned, we don't know what is coming, let's be honest, and when everything was right in the eye of the storm or the thick of the crazy, Ant and I were basically training for the apocalypse. So we were doing sprinting, pull-ups, just getting ourselves into a condition that if we needed to lift ourselves up onto something and pull, one of our children up, we had the physical ability to do so. And I think that kind of athleticness is really, really important. So strength and that is something that I also want to improve. Because when I did the Carnival Challenge, I think I mentioned to you, Bart, when I did the Carnival Challenge, I barely trained. I probably did maybe 1 to 2 strength and conditioning sessions a week, and they were very minimal. And for me, that's like really nothing, because I have always trained since the last 20 years. I've done a lot of exercise. So for me, that was like pretty much nothing. And I had those results. And the reason I did it that way was because I wanted to primarily look at, if I take out this little bit of plant matter that I'm actually eating still, even though it was low oxalates and all the things that are meant to be better, what is the impact on my body? And it showed. I didn't want it to be confused with other stimulus like exercise and know which is actually contributing to those changes that I had. Since then, though, my motivation for training has been pretty crap, because I'm like, well, I feel good, I feel strong, I feel lean, I don't need to train as much. So it's been really up and down with my training. So having some kind of goal with my physicality, I find that fun. And I know people think that's weird, but a challenge for me is fun, and it's fun because it keeps me focused and it keeps me motivated and it keeps me excited about what I can achieve. And so that's why Bart and I were like, well, let's do a challenge together, like some kind of physicality thing where we can encourage each other and be accountable to each other, and also inspire you guys to jump on the bandwagon with us, get involved in doing something that makes you better, stronger, leaner, whatever your goals might be. And so that's why we decided to do something like this. So we're really excited to hear what your guys' feedback is and see what you think we should do. What do you think our physical challenge should be? Do you think it should be the same or different, and why? And I don't know, have you done any pull-ups lately?
I'm still languishing around being able to do 3 chin-ups.
Yeah.
Or about 4 pull-ups in a row. That's about it.
Yeah. So I haven't done it, so I wouldn't know where I'm at, but I'm pretty confident I could do 2, maybe 3. So our strength levels aren't that different at the moment on that. So maybe that's something that we could do. Like, it would be good to do something where there's almost like a little bit of competition involved between you and I.
Yeah, well, that would be nothing new, would it, Jess, for us, you and I? Goodness me.
Oh, so
yeah.
funny.
I mean,
so
the thinking there is like you see these challenges like, 100 press-ups a day or 50 squats a day for 30 days or something like that. I think, we need to make it a more rounded, probably whole body split program of some kind for a challenge. Totally. I don't think one single exercise is a good idea.
No.
But what should we do? How should we put this program together? It's got to be something that's suitable for both women in Jess's age bracket and
39.
old crusty old men in my age bracket, 50 plus. Strength based is good. Strength endurance based is better. I need to work a bit on power and all of that sort of thing as well. I don't know. I mean, I could put the program together, obviously, of course.
Ideas.
But yeah, let's have your ideas. It's something that
it's fun.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to get involved and do it too, then we can fully do that. We can set up a hashtag. We can, we want to make it something that's fun and something that might inspire you guys to do something that you want to achieve, and have that accountability, because accountability is powerful. Just knowing that somebody else is going to know what you've done, that can be enough for you to take action. I did actually design a program, Ant and I did it yesterday for me, because I need something to follow, because this kind of wishy-washy floating around the place is not going to get me anywhere. And although I don't have any issues physically on a neuromuscular level or anything like that I need to really work on, we can always get better. We can always get stronger and faster and, become better humans. So we're super excited to share this with you guys and also get your ideas on this and also get you guys involved with this. And it's going to be fun. I love doing this kind of thing. We're going to do it short, though. So it's going to be 30 days. I think 30 days is a really good way to focus in and hone in on something particular. I did think what we should maybe ask you guys is, what is the one thing that would make the best contribution to your health? What is the one thing that you could do that would improve your health today and for 30 days? And when I asked myself that question, one of the first answers that popped into my head was to give up coffee. But I'm just not ready, Bart. So I just didn't want to put it out there, because I'm just like, nope, I'm not quite ready to do that yet. And I know I will, and I'll get to that point. And what I've done at the moment is just reduce it down. But I love it. I'm down to 2. I just have 2 a day, and I'm having Americanos, decaf. I haven't done caffeine for probably 20 years, so it's not like I'm cutting out that stimulus. And it is water decaffeinated, processed, and all those jazz. And I have it with really good organic fruit, all the jazz cream, and I only have 2 of them. So I've got it to the best state that it can kind of be, still being coffee, still being a bean, still being high oxalate, all those nasties. But I do enjoy a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but without caffeine, it's not coffee, Jess. What are you talking about? That's just bean juice.
Tastes like coffee.
Oh, I don't drink coffee for the taste. I don't enjoy the taste of coffee. It's the stimulus. It's the caffeine.
No, I like the taste of it. So I gave up caffeine, 20 years ago. I didn't care. I never was like, ooh, I want to get a hit off it, or I was like using it as a stimulus like you are. I just like the flavor. And I don't know if I told you this, but my dad has a organic coffee bean roasting company called Macchiato. And so he roasts beans from all over the place, Colombia, Bolivian, all these different Cuban beans, and he'll freshly roast them and then ship them up to me. So I have the most amazing beans, yummy. And I love coffee. So I know I should give it up. It's coming. But my dad always said the same thing too. He's like, because he kept sending caffeinated coffee beans, and I was like, I'm not going to drink these, Dad. He's like, what's the point if it's got no caffeine?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't get it.
The decaf, Dad. And so he does. Thanks, Dad. I love your weekly deliveries of fresh roasted beans.
Awesome. All right. So that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen of all ages, over 18, of course, on my channel. That's how it is. That's where we're at this week. We thought, okay, let's put a challenge together of some sort. Let's get your guys' input into it. It will be a strength and or strength power-based program. Anyone that writes in and tells us to do a bunch of aerobic stuff will be immediately shot. No, we're not doing that. No. Strength and power-based stuff. We want to put a program together that's a whole body split. That is something that we could realistically, both of us, do an identical program over about a 30-day period in order to get things rocking and rolling. With a goal. We need a goal as well, yes. Whatever that.
There's got to be something to be achieved.
I'm not quite sure what it's going to be, but yes.
Yeah, even if our technique of achieving it is different, it would just be really interesting to see what that is. And it might be a percentage game. So say, for example, I do my maximum rep chin-ups and Bart does, and then we look at increasing that by X amount in X amount of days. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what it looks like. But if you guys don't come up with anything, Bart and I will anyway.
That's it.
Because this is what we do. But, yeah, we just thought we want to get you guys involved. And even if you don't necessarily have the same goal as us, you're welcome to come along with us to do one thing, like I said, that improves your health over that 30 days and have that accountability of whatever you're trying to achieve. Because ultimately we want to improve your guys' lives. But your goal is maybe completely different from ours. Yep. But it doesn't mean we don't want you to take action.
Also, speaking of action, all of this program needs to be doable in 30 minutes a day, no more than 4 times a week as well.
Yeah.
So there you have it. We want your thoughts on that. Comment under the video for Al Gore. He loves his rhythms, does Al Gore. Don't forget to hit like on this video, because the single biggest cause of diabetes and early death is not hitting like on my videos. Studies have shown that. Yep. Keep an eye out for whatever else Jess is doing on Instagram and other places this week. She's very active doing all that kind of stuff. Tell us about it, Jess. What are you doing this week? What are you promoting? What's happening on the other social media sites?
Oh, mate, what aren't I promoting? What aren't I putting out there?
You've got your finger in all the pies, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I did just do an interview with Rock and Rosa, and we talked about all my carnivore journey, and then we talked all about NRT, so you can check that out. That's on her YouTube channel. I am going to be guest speaker next Wednesday, I think it is, for the Steak and Butter Gang for this month. So I'm going to talk about carnivore stuff. So I've got a bit of my fingers in the carnivore pie. NRT has absolutely blown up. There's all this new stuff. We're learning all about spinal tension and spinal cord tension and the implications on the body. So every second that I am not with clients, I am spilling my brain full of new information. It's been so epic and amazing. And God, what else? I went to a course/networking thing today, which was all about aligning yourself with people that you're meant to be working with, which I found really interesting and got lots out of. It's just full on. Plus I have 3 kids. I obviously have a full-time business that is international, so I work online as well as in person with clients, as well as having a family that homeschool. So it's just, don't get me wrong, I freaking love it. And luckily I am living what I would be doing even if I wasn't paid to do this, because I want to help people. That's always been my goal and my dream. And so it's just finding different avenues of doing that. And then the other thing that I've got going on as well is I'm just putting together some new online programs for people where they can do, the one at the moment is restoring all your respiratory muscles. So getting all the muscles that are involved with breathing, which there are 9 different divisions of muscles that help us breathe, either inspiration or expiration, getting them functional, getting them working. Bart's had these treated, so he'll know all about it. It's amazing for basically increasing your capacity to breathe. Funny story, I had a breathwork teacher. So she teaches breathwork for a living on my table, and her respiratory muscles were completely non-working. She couldn't descend your diaphragm. She had no pressure, intra-abdominal pressure. Nothing worked. So we got all that working. So that's my new thing I'm going to kind of be doing at the moment, is finishing I'm calling it a Yogi program. The reason being because it's to do with breath work. And obviously breath work is also linked to meditation. So there's some bits in there. And then just Ant and I are putting together our carnivore cookbook. So just our favorite carnivore staples. Because I get asked this all the time. Jess, what do I eat? If I'm not eating this, that, and the other, what do I eat? What do I eat? What do I eat? And my fiance is like an incredible, incredible cook. And he does probably 90% of the cooking. And we experiment with carnivore things. And so we've been just inundated with people going, can you put together just a little, favorites recipes? So we've got that lined up with the photographer. All the recipes are done, but they have to be all pretty when they come out. So that's happening next month, August, September. So the carnivore staples cookbook's coming out. So there's just, throwing all the balls, spinning all the balls and plates in the air, but loving what I'm doing, loving sharing what I'm doing.
There you go, and, Jess, Superwoman, basically.
It's been good.
Or insane. We're not sure which, frankly. Whatever. Okay, so what social media accounts and addresses and things are there that you want people to know about?
Okay, so the Carnivore Mummy is my food stuff primarily, and obviously that's carnivore based. I do have a private account that's not business related, so you can't really access that unless you directly DM me and I have some kind of knowledge of who you are, because I put stuff on my kids and that's all stuff. And then I've got at the Jessica treatment. The Jessica treatment is I've just done my kind of branding and logo for my neuro reset technique, which is the neuromuscular based therapy that I use to restore your body's ability to move, position, force, and movement at a neuromuscular level. So I'm just putting some. So the Jessica treatment is there, but there's not a huge amount on there.
Awesome, very good.
And those are my main two.
Pretty much that's us in a nutshell. That's the name of the game this week. So we need you to respond by way of commentary under this video and let us know what you think this sort of challenge program ought to look like. Is a whole body split a good thing, do you think? If so, how would you put it together? What sort of things would you have in it? Just basically ideas left, right, and centre, and we'll pick the best of it. I mean, either Jess or myself are both more than capable of putting a program together, absolutely. Yeah. But this is about your involvement, because we're going to ask you to play along with us and to do this with us once we've got it together and set the start date and everything, so we can all follow along and see whether or not the goals get met. All right. That being said, very good to see you again, Jess, in terms of this format where we're having a chat about things rather than the format where you're telling me how bad I've been this week and getting me to put my body into all sorts of damaging or undamaging positions that are punishing, is what I mean, to teach me a lesson for being bad and stuff. She's quite forceful as Jess when she's doing therapy. She's quite right. This is what we need. We're doing this now. You move that bit over there and that bit there and get this muscle going and get that one going and stuff. And it's all good fun. It's hard work. It's hard work, and it should be
awesome.
Anything that's therapeutic should be an effort. It shouldn't be passive and easy and nice and fluffy, because that's not going to do a damn thing. So there you go. All right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks again, Jess. See you probably next week when we work out when our meeting time's going to be. I'll have my people call your people. Yeah. You know the bloke, Ted of the Yellow.
Cute. Awesome.
He'll give you a call. All right. See you then. Ciao.